Hey everyone, and welcome to Ask Nicole, which is a series that I do every Tuesday morning at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time, coming at you from my apartment where I'm quarantining after a brief visit to visit my mother over the holidays. So in having some conversations lately, it's funny because sometimes I'll have a conversation and I'll think, oh, I really want an example of this, and then I'll have one just fall into my lap. So today's topic, I'm here to talk to you about lead magnets, which sound a lot fancier than they are. So basically, lead magnet is the idea that you have something available for free, but you usually have to put in your email to get it. So it's typically like a white paper, which is basically a PDF that's kind of laid out nicely. It could also be something like an exclusive like replay of a training. It could be something like some templates, some free templates that you can work with in a piece of software. So lead magnets, they don't have to be like a research paper. They can be other things too. But the idea is give me an email, get something for free. So obviously the purpose of this for people is to get your email address so that they can communicate with you in other ways. But there's a few other benefits for taking the time to actually go through and do this because honestly, the part that takes the longest is kind of laying everything out. So the first kind of purpose of a lead magnet is to get people interested in your sales pipeline. So there's two of you watching right now. I don't know which two people this is, but hello. Thanks for watching live. 3 now. So if you are watching this video or if you follow me on social media, you might be casually interested in what I do, right? That's the idea anyway. So if you're casually interested, something that you would do if you were more interested is maybe give me your email address. So I put an example of my sales pipeline in here, just or a sales funnel, super basic, right? So if you're kind of interested in me, you're going to follow me, right? You're going to like follow me on Instagram. You're going to follow me on Facebook. You're going to, kind of see on YouTube. You're going to see what I do. The next thing you're going to do is be like, I want to keep in touch with this person. And you might subscribe to my email newsletter or subscribe to my YouTube channel or something like that. Then you might say, this person's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll attend an event. Maybe I'll come to a workshop. Maybe I'll do something that's a little bit more time intensive and sort of intentional. And then, this person seems to know what they're talking about. So maybe I'll book a free consultation. I do a free consultation with people in case you were interested in doing that. And then maybe they say, you know what, this person knows what they're talking about and become a customer. Now, obviously, if you're watching, you might be at different points in this process. But the idea with offering the lead magnet is to get the people who are lightly interested a little bit further interested by giving an email address so that I can regularly keep in touch with them, or that your business could regularly keep in touch with them, right? The second purpose of a lead magnet is to attract new prospects. So for example, I had a client, they've since sold their business, so they don't do this anymore, who did YMCA safety consulting. So they would go in, they would check out your workout facilities, they would check out your pool, and they would give you like safety plans and things like that. So since it was kind of higher end consulting work, they basically, just needed a few contracts every year to be able to sustain themselves. So what my client did was put together a really detailed, kind of safety plan white paper that was geared at people who were at the YMCAs, who were able to make the decisions about, hiring consultants and things like that. And then they took out Google ads about the white paper to just get people interested. And then they would have their email address, and then they would also have this document. So even if only one of them ever turned into a customer, knowing what the value of that customer was, you're able to obviously adjust ad spends and things like that. So it was a nice way to kind of offer something in an advertisement to people who might be interested in it, and then be able to follow up with them because you have their email address. So attracting a new prospect, it's good to have a lead magnet, and that's the main reason people have them. But I guess, and a third purpose that I thought of, which is a little bit less obvious, is let's say, we're out in the real world, and most of the time, thankfully, we still are out in the real world, maybe a little bit less out of our houses than we want to be at this point. But, there's billboards, there's signs, there's things like that. And one way to get people to see something offline and move online is to offer something, right? So go to this website and get this thing. And so that kind of incentivizes me to kind of write down the URL. And then when I get somewhere where I can go online to go to your thing and download it. And that's, those are kind of the three main reasons that why you would have a lead magnet. So you might ask yourselves, okay, I sort of get the idea, but like, how does this kind of work? Don't worry, I got you, boo. So I have a few lead magnet examples. So first of all, when I first opened the co-working space in Potsdam, no one knew who the heck I was, right? And so what I wanted to do was get on the radar of people who were interested in business in St. Lawrence County, New York. And so I put together this PDF of 100 businesses that you can start in St. Lawrence County for $100 or less. So I wanted to also appeal to people who might go down the MLM route and kind of save them from buying a starter kit when they could really start a business with little to no money. I won't get into what I think about those, but anyway, so what I did was I made this PDF. And so when people go to sign up for the email newsletter, they get emailed this PDF once they sign up. And as you see, it's not super involved. I built this in Canva. You could also build this in Google Docs. So yes, you could build it in like Illustrator or something, but you can also do it in free to very inexpensive software. Basically, you build it and then you export it as a PDF. So yeah, so if you want to get this PDF and just see what it looks like, you can go there and sign up for the newsletter. But you'll see here that here's the 100 business, here's the list. So this thing is, looks like 12 pages. So it's been a while since I made this. I think there's like 3 typos in it. So if you find them, good for you. So it's not super fancy, and then at the end, I just put some useful resources in there to help people that were specific to this particular geographic area. So this probably took, 20 hours or so to put together. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you think about like if you were going to buy ads, you would spend hundreds of dollars on ads. So instead of, I guess, spending money on tons on ads, and I'm not saying you shouldn't spend money on ads, but instead of spending that money on ads, you can make that lead magnet and then send people to it with an ad. And then you get their email address and you get some feedback on kind of how useful that thing is. What I meant to do, and I had a little internet issue and I think it closed out, was show you my MailChimp subscriber number. And you see, it's funny, when you look at the graph, you can see exactly when I launched that thing. So I wrote that PDF and then I posted this link. I went to local business groups on Facebook. I told I'm in a sort of BNI like local business group. I told them about it. I told some of my business contacts about it. And I just emailed them this link and I said, you can just download it here. And if you look at my number of email subscribers, like I said, you can literally see the peak in increase in downloads. And my email list increased by about 30%. Granted, my list was very small. It was like 120-ish people or something. And it wasn't infinite people who downloaded it, but people were interested and did come to my website. Now, if I had a remarketing pixel on this website, which I do, I could take out ads to these people later on to get them to come back to my website. So even if they just visited the site without giving me their email, I also can market to them as well. So there's other examples as well. And I wanted to find examples of kind of other people doing this. I even have like one kind of small town example. I meant to find more small town examples, but sometimes you just run out of ideas. So this person, as you see, like you go to the homepage of their site and you see the get the exclusive, the business growth toolkit. So if I click on the get exclusive content for free, I get this thing where I enter my name and I enter my email address and I get instant access, right? So you probably have seen this lots of times before. Lots of marketing people have stuff like this. Another example is, so this woman does Canva templates. And so this is a free sample Canva template and sample tutorial library. So you get an idea of the kind of things she offers. So even if you have like digital it doesn't have to be a PDF. It can be a collection of resources. It can be a collection of files. So like, don't feel like you have to just lay out a PDF like I did. If you're more of a visual person, it could be a video, that kind of thing. And then, I was like, oh, I really want like a small town, my local example. So then this example just popped into my lap. So I'm on the board of Mount Desert Island Historical Society in Maine, and they have an annual baked bean supper they usually have in January. Obviously, that's not happening for obvious reasons, but what they decided to do was put out a cookbook, a baked bean supper cookbook, and give people access to a live presentation on a particular day. So you basically go in here, you fill out the payment form, and you get the cookbook. So excuse my dog for barking. One moment. It's okay. Come here. Come here. You're good. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm doing this thing where I do a really annoying noise whenever she barks, and it's starting to work. So I wanted to keep with that training. 1 second. Basically, I had to think of a noise that I could make with my mouth. And what I thought was, what's the most annoying noise in the world? And it's when when your smoke detector is running out of batteries, that high-pitched beep. I can basically do an equivalent of that with my mouth. So it annoys my dog, and it does get her to stop barking. Anyway, one more week, and then I can go back to the office. So anyway, so this is a baked bean stuff. So it's like an event, but also there is a sort of free resource component that's downloadable. So now, how do you get this sort of thing to work? Well, first of all, you have to make it, whatever the thing is. So putting together, I'm sure that cookbook, or me putting together my 100 business ideas, which, by the way, there is 100, and they are really good ideas. So if any one of you wants to actually start one of these businesses, I will 100% support you. You basically have to lay this out. And like I said, you can do this in something like Google Drive has lots of templates that you can use for free. Canva has templates, and you can lay stuff out into multiple pages. Or if you're going to do it as a video thing, you've got to record the video. And make a landing page on your website that has that's going to host that video. Then you make some kind of form that people fill out. And once that form is filled out, whatever, something is triggered. So in the case of my PDF, anytime someone subscribes to my email newsletter, they get added to my MailChimp list, and my MailChimp list automatically sends them a link with that PDF in it. So that's how that happens. So once the mechanism is set up, then you just have to market it. So obviously, like I said, the biggest time sink is actually setting the thing up. So what I tell clients is, if you're just worried about the mechanism part, that's something someone like me can help with. But if you just want to kind of think through your content and lay it out, that's the part that's going to take the most time. And if you want to DIY, obviously that's the part that you probably want to do, because it's going to save you time working with somebody. So yeah, I hope I've made the case for a lead magnet. Like I said, I think they're really valuable, because everybody's got an email address, and no matter what cool like social media thing we're all doing or whatever, it's always, every time you set up a new account, it's always with an email address. And I was reading a stat that 59% of people make purchasing decisions based on what's on email, and 80% of business professionals say that their email list is the most valuable way of connecting with their customers and clients. So email still here. It's kind of an old school technology at this point, but getting someone's email address is pretty valuable. So you can either take out ads specifically to get these leads. So on Facebook, you have lead generation ads, but those, are going to cost you, when you're doing well, like $5-ish a lead. And when you're not doing well, they're going to cost you way more than that. So one way to do it is to do an ad, and another way to do it is to offer a free resource. Obviously, it's not free to spend your time creating it, but and then you market it after the fact, and you get people on your email list. And and it's, I think, a pretty good use of time. And also, I think for me anyway, a sort of side effect of this is it kind of crystallizes to me like what's interesting to people, because I see if they download stuff or not. There's my dog in the background, the one that was barking a second ago. Apparently now she's eating breakfast. Working from home. Fun stuff. So I hope you consider making a lead magnet. Like I said, if once you kind of lay everything out or think about the idea, you're kind of unsure of how to make the distribution work, or if you need some help marketing it, that's where someone like me can come in. But if you just think through what content that you want to present and how you want to present it, that's going to be the part that takes the most time. And hopefully it's a resource that you create that you can use indefinitely, even when you're not so concerned about building your email list. Maybe it's just something that you have available that you send to your clients, that you just use to help other people, and you've taken the time to make it. So why not use it? So thanks so much for watching. If you have stuff that you ever want me to talk about, I mean, I'm fine just having random ideas too. You can just leave a comment on this video wherever you're seeing it, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or you can also send me an email. Hold on, spelled it wrong. I'm having issues today. My internet was being weird and I had to restart everything once it was all queued up. So I'm a little bit off here. So let's put it correct on the screen now. There is my email address. If you have, like I said, topics you want me to cover, I definitely have ideas, but I'm very interested also in your ideas as well. And I'm happy to kind of debag marketing practices. I'm happy to just give you the straight dope, as the 80s kids would say, on anything that I feel like I know about. And if I don't, I'll try to get a guest to come on and talk about it, because there's certainly lots I don't know about and lots of ideas I have. And I'm talking to some potential guests right now. So keep an eye on this space. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Take care, stay safe, and stay sane out there. It's weird times. Hang in there, everybody. We'll get through this.